Key Biscayne. This is a No One's Listening show with your host for today, Griff. And today is Wednesday, the 17th, or is it the 16th? A little bit confused. It's the 16th, and it's 6:30 p.m. And I'm your host for today because Rafa is on vacation. He's off in Bilbao, Spain.
He's wintering.
He's wintering.
He is wintering.
So,
Bobby, why did you say that with quotes? Air quotes.
I did.
Bobby goes, he's wintering.
Is winter not a verb?
Oh, it was for Brad, I think.
So for today,
Yeah.
I want to introduce the panel. We have a special panel today. Some interesting people. To my left, I have Gman.
Oh, I'm not used to being first. I got my mic here, Griff. Hey, everybody.
And he's
How you
here
doing?
every week, right?
And to his left, got Anna.
Hey guys, I'm special tonight on the panel.
And to her left, we got Manny.
Good evening.
And to his left, you got
How you doing, Rodrigo?
Rodrigo Gaia.
He's special on the panel.
He's special. We got him a new mic.
Yeah.
And to his left, we got Mr. Bob.
Yo, what's up?
All right. So this is a special show. Rafa is not the host for today, and I am. So we got some interesting topics. To start off, we usually do trivia. Today's trivia, I had to look up last night because I'm doing the show. So it's more of a historical trivia. So, we live on Key Biscayne. What is the name of the ship that ran ashore on Fowey Rocks in 1878? And if you call in, which my phone number is 305-299-9674,
U571.
you get a beer, as we always do. We always give beers. So, anybody know it? Anybody?
Bobby.
Call in.
Say it again.
Call in and don't call the usual number.
571.
No, it's not a U-boat, guys. It's not a U-boat.
571. If you call in and say U-boat 571, you win a beer. How about that?
It's actually, they did sink a submarine out there. German sub. Back
Yeah?
in too, yeah.
So, I'll repeat that. What is the name of the ship that ran ashore on Fowey Rocks in 1878? Phone number to call in is 305-299-9674. Call in. I'll put you on the air.
Or you call Rafa's number.
Or you call Rafa's number. He'll be in Spain.
Call in.
361-8557.
All right. So, usually in this show, we start off with Weekend Talk. Anybody want to go first for the Weekend Talk?
Anna, you go
I'll
first.
go first because mine was really easy. On Friday night, I went to the corner. And then on Saturday night, I went to the corner.
Whoa.
That's it.
Down on the corner.
No, I do have a cool story. I went to a birthday party out in Kendall. It was my friend's dad's birthday party, and he does these big parties every year and gets a live band to play. The guy's 75 and threw this massive party, awesome drinks flowing, cool little food to eat. He got up there and sang with the band, and he's 75. Like, that's amazing. That's a lover of life. And he was like hitting on the chicks, and he's just cool. He had a pair of beads on,
Being the good wolf.
It was just fucking, I'm sorry. It was just cool. And he's one of those guys that's lived a long, amazing life, and you could tell by all the pictures in his house, and it was just so cool to be out there and see a different crowd in Kendall. It was amazing.
Kendall's great. Kendall's great.
Amazing. It was a big backyard. It was cool. It was awesome.
We had a fun night. Friday night, we did the Bradley. Was Friday night was the ladies and gentlemen, Bradley Newsome. Brad, why don't you cozy up there a little bit?
Hello.
Yeah. Hopefully he's going to say more than that because we brought him all the way over here. But
Special guest.
But
guys.
we hung out together on Friday night. We went to Christmas caroling.
Yes.
Cart caroling. That was
fun.
That was a lot of fun. Except Brad
were on bikes.
the Newsomes were all on bikes, which is great.
Got to be different.
and my golf cart died that night. Brad helped. He's like, hey, you need some help. You need me to ride somebody. There's 10 people on the cart.
How far were you guys?
We were between houses 4 and 5, I think.
Oh, wow.
And
How far did you have to push it?
well, I just had to push it about 20 feet. I parked it right there off of West Mashta, and then they picked it up. And
I thought you were going to say Brad pulled it on the bike.
Brad, we had a fun night. And later on, went to the YC and
Spreaded a lot of cheer.
spreaded cheer all over the place. How about you, Rodrigo? Do anything this weekend?
Yeah, I kind of became a full-time weekender. I left my agency job to become a full-time freelance. So,
Woo!
Nice.
So, Rodrigo, tell us a little bit more about what you were doing before.
I've been working for a really fun company called World Red Eye for the last 5 years. It's been shooting a lot of nightlife, a lot of like celebrities, a lot of social events. And it's
Like
been
a TMZ type, like paparazzi type?
no, just like hired to go to these places
I
that
see
people
Rod
really really like to have themselves photographed.
Well, no, that
So it makes
doesn't
my
make me
job
sound
really
good.
And then so I would just
So
go
you don't
and-
have
and
to
hang
chase
out
them
with
down.
people.
You don't have to chase them down at all.
No. Definitely not.
Blue steel.
Yeah, exactly.
Magnum.
It was one of those things where it just became like a really funny kind of understanding of like the human condition to be photographed. So just meeting all of these people for like 30 seconds at a time and then taking their photo over and over and over again.
So, Rodrigo, that's
Like a really
5 years. 5 years
Yeah.
of you going out pretty much almost every night.
Yeah. So
It's a lot of work.
my idea of the weekend is just like blown
Scares.
out. Yeah, it's funny because you're like ingrained to have this weekend, since you start going to school, and then it's okay. Now you're Saturdays and Sundays are the times you can do things. And so
Griff's weekend actually starts tonight on Wednesday
Yeah.
nights.
Actually, yeah,
and
it
it
does.
goes all the way.
Nice.
It goes through Tuesday.
how long
Tuesday.
did it take you to like really appreciate that? Because for me, it took me a while. I was like, man, I really got to like start going out on Tuesdays and Wednesdays because I work on Friday and Saturday nights.
Well, actually, it's funny because my weekend only starts on Wednesday because I do the show with you guys. That's it.
Does that mean we're all starting?
Does that mean I'm started to?
Yeah, we're all starting. But my weekend was pretty lame or pretty low key. My Friday night I spent it at a friend's house in Key Colony. Had a few drinks, had a great time.
After
That's right. You showed up after from where?
The
You
corner.
went to the corner.
Calling your friend lame? Is that what you're trying to say?
Kind of,
Right?
you know.
That's right. Well, I showed up at the end, so maybe they were lame,
No, but what I meant by lame was just that we weren't doing anything crazy,
Least
and
lame.
we were just having fun. Then on Saturday, kind of laid low.
Are we big on those levels, G-Man?
We're just a little bit big.
Yeah, Griff is just.
Because I think we're all big.
No,
Cool.
just Griff. That's what I was.
That's what she said.
So my weekend. So
Thanks, Bob.
Just watch yourself.
my Saturday, pretty much. Oh, also I went to a friend's birthday party. His name is Piero. A little barbecue. It was it's funny because as you get older, at least for my generation, we're turning 30 or 31, and now a lot of us are starting to have kids. So the parties change.
I went to the 75-year-old birthday party, and that was amazing.
They had that 7
But
p.m.
okay, cool.
So the parties change. It's not like, hey, who's going to do keg stands and do all kinds of crazy stuff that you used to do in college. So it's just a lot of kids running around. And when you have kids, you also finish off your night a little earlier. You go for 2 hours instead of 5 hours, 6 hours. And that was pretty much...
Are you talking about the Newsomes?
no,
I've seen them go longer than that.
so that's pretty much my weekend. How about you, Bob? How was your weekend?
Oh,
Does that
me?
thing work?
You don't want to hear about my weekend. Friday and Saturdays, I worked both days, so I didn't get off until Sunday morning. And came to the yacht club and had a couple beers and went home and worked on Monday.
Yay.
Yay.
All right.
Sounds like
Super
Austin saying that he
exciting.
bought a couch over the weekend.
Brad, since you're the special guest, how was your weekend?
I think it was fun. I can't really remember what it was. Let's see. We started off caroling, which was awesome. We had how many golf carts?
Must have had 20.
It was a caravan, and then Saturday morning frisbee. Have no idea what I did for the rest of the day. And then Sunday morning frisbee. Have no idea what I did for the rest of the day.
Early Alzheimer's hit you?
Yes, I think so. It's called Bliss getting up at 2, 3, 4, and then wide awake at 5.
But
Nice.
to be fair, we warned Brad before the show that we always do a weekend section.
I know.
So think of
And I've
what you
been-
did.
For 20
On the
minutes, I've been
weekend.
trying to figure out what I did.
So it's nothing right now that he just can't remember right
Gannon,
now.
did you do anything cooler than all of these stories? Because these
I don't know if it
stories...
was cooler. I mean, the main thing I have to report is the Key Biscayne Yacht Club boat parade,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
which can be cool some years. I think there's been as many as 40 boats sometimes. This year there was, let me just say, the branch office, they won the lighting competition.
Yay,
We're-
Austin.
we should probably tell
There
you
was
something
only
about
two
the quality.
other boats. You were the committee boat.
Yeah, I was
and
one.
then
I was
the
one of
DO
the
was out
picket
there.
boats, and
I didn't.
Hortensia was running the show like a military operation. Like she
So how many
likes to
boats
do.
were there?
Yeah.
I think I counted 14 or 15.
Oh,
That's not bad. So that was a big rush at the end. I heard they had 7 at
that
one
I mean,
point.
sounds
and past years they've
low.
had people from other yacht clubs come, and they've gotten.
Yeah, but I
30-something.
heard they had 7 like when it was almost still
I've been there
time.
when it's been pretty bad.
What happened?
before.
Did they not advertise? Because I didn't know what was going on until you said something.
Maybe
Yeah,
they didn't get the
yeah,
word
yeah.
out good enough. It's possible.
Yeah.
Well, it was.
But they're missing a lot of the key people. Like usually they have a big sailboat with the LED lights go to the top of a 70-foot mast, which is
Yeah, the second
pretty good-
win. Ray
yeah,
Sullivan probably
pretty
was
good
always used to do it.
spectacle.
Ray
Yeah,
Sullivan
there
used to
wasn't
do
really anything that really
it. Rest in
was
peace,
too
Ray.
amazing.
Hey, quick question, G-Man. How many years has this been going on for?
That's a good trivia question.
Hey,
for
you know
next
what?
week, Griff.
I was just
Oh.
gonna say. I remember. You know where the parade used to go. I don't know if any of you guys remember. Probably don't. Maybe you were little babies, but used to go through Pines Canal. So you would have, all the homes on Pines Canal inside the canal. Everyone would go to the Pines Canal waterfront homes, and most of them in those days weren't homes. You know what they were? Empty lots, dude. They were the empty lots where
Rabbit lot and stuff.
yeah, Cape Florida was like 40-50% empty lots for a long time, and that's where the boat parade would go.
You know
My
why?
uncle had a
'Cause
house
it's,
in
like,
960
so
Harbor.
close to the mangroves right there. It's probably a mosquito trap.
Yeah, you think? Can you imagine?
Well, I mean, now the main focus is on no name, so people like the public can go enjoy it.
Right, of course.
Because now there's not like vacant lots for anybody to show up.
Yeah.
So they encourage people to go to the park, where I'm sure they let them in free. I would hope,
Yeah, they do. As a
then
matter
there's
of
a
fact,
stand
there
there.
was a huge turnout for that. I
Yeah.
heard. So,
and that's good. And I don't know if I didn't have the privilege of going in there this year, but usually Tim Stickney's there emceeing, and that's like the main event. People. go in there, they
congratulations
do
to the
too.
BO too.
Yeah, I
we
mean,
gotta
you
give
know,
him
they
the
had
props.
lights.
I heard Tijereta. I saw that Tijereta picture. It looked nice, but I heard the BO. You know what the deciding thing was?
Austin being Santa Claus.
That was it.
Yeah.
They had the lot. They had
Oh,
Santa. I said no. The other boat had a
They had
Santa
to
too.
lock
It's
up
like
their
no. They
women
had
and children
the
for that
real
one.
Santa was there. The real Santa. So
Well, that's pretty
Austin,
good.
nice move, man.
That guy is awesome. We were sitting out there on Sunday, sitting on the deck on the dockmaster's office, and they hit him in there, because I guess they were waiting for a boat to bring him out
Oh,
on
like
and
the real
everything.
Santa?
Yeah, the real Santa. And I'm like, hey, you want a beer? He's like, yeah, I'd love one, but I talk to all these little kids over here. Probably not go over too well.
All right, so that was Weekend Talk. Anybody else want to add anything to Weekend Talk?
Gato, would you like to talk a little bit about the weekend?
Special
Ladies
guest
and
number
gentlemen.
3.
Hey guys, I had a pretty good weekend actually. I went to.
God, I might have to speak up a little bit. There you go.
Hello.
There you go.
Hey,
Got you there.
I went to Woodstock on Virginia Key. I
Oh.
just figured let's embrace whatever's at Virginia Key. It's right over the little bridge. We're right there. Why not just hop on over and enjoy it? So
I got 3 words for you. Grassroots.
Yeah,
every
coming
time,
up.
definitely.
So how was that?
It's coming
It was
up.
really cool.
What
There
was it? What was it? What kind of music was it?
There was everything. There was everything, mainly Jamaican music. It was really nice. Good food, good people, good time for a good cause. It was a fundraiser.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
What?
And there was a beautiful, huge sand castle, enormous. And with the sunset there, it was incredible.
That's a great venue.
On
Right there.
Sunday, I went to a flea market in downtown, Canvas, Miami. That's how I found it. And again, great people, great food, great music, live band again. I just enjoy that one and recommend it once a month to go there as well.
Awesome.
Where's the one in downtown located?
They just switched it over to a different location, and I can't remember at the moment. But north.
What was
I'm not
that?
Sure. I really don't know.
All right, let me just go ahead and explain today's panel. We're full of people today at the studio, and we're about 8 people. So I'm gonna go around and say who's here because I made a mistake earlier. There was a lot of people here. So we have Cate, Anna, Manny, Rod, Bob, Bradley Newsome, and Gman.
And Jonathan Griffinstein.
And
me.
And your
So-
host, Jonathan.
What's the dog's name?
Oh, and Chico.
Oh man, I was like,
Chico's right there.
really?
Wow.
Rod's like over here. I wish Rod had a mic, man, because that would have been the.
So
What's
pretty
the
much,
dog's name?
So pretty much, this part of the show, we talk about the talk of the town and what's going on. We had a rainy last week, or say 2 weeks, is it?
Like
So,
month.
something that goes on at the Village Green, the Winterfest, that was canceled due to rain, heavy rain.
Did they ever redo it or what?
No,
That was canceled 3 weeks ago, I think, wasn't it?
Well, and they didn't even want to do a big one because of the grass. So they didn't want to mess up the grass, so it was already downscaled.
And this was front page news, guys. This was.
If they don't want to mess up the grass, they should stop having soccer all year round.
Ooh,
No,
wow.
you know what the problem is with the grass? We talked about it the other day. Have you noticed the grass, Brad? What color is it?
Brown?
Yeah. You know why? Because there's too much
Use.
sand. No, inside.
There's not enough organic material.
Right.
Yeah.
There's too much sand. It's eating up the
They
water.
were worried about the drainage.
Yeah. Too much.
And now it's too much.
Yeah.
All right.
How much did they pay for that? Didn't they hire a new company to deal with that?
Well, I don't know what the story is on that. I guess we'll have to wait for Rafa to get back.
So another thing that we mentioned last show, we're having an Uber style golf cart service on the key for free. Well, it's being paid by the taxpayers, but it's free, and it's called Key Ride, and it's pretty much a go. It's going to come out on an application. I think there's about 3 golf carts.
They're already doing it though, right?
I'm not sure.
That's me. That's what I've been
No,
doing.
but I saw
Manny, yeah.
2 random looking guys that you can tell that weren't from the key. They were in a big golf cart driving it around.
So that's going to be a big hit.
Fish posh.
I like the name.
Cate
It's,
Le Bon.
for people that are of our generation, it's a double entendre. Wow.
Yeah, one of the main concerns that I read.
Generational thing.
I'm just playing. It's a joke.
One of the main concerns that I read is that it might get too big. I think, after reading The Islander, Dr. Kelly mentioned that, it might get too big and we might need 6 golf carts. So we'll see how the demand is. And
How many is it now?
I think it's 3.
I'll tell you what, I told my son about it today after looking at my Uber bill for the last month. You know what my kids do? Not my kids, one of my kids. He Ubers around the key.
No way.
I have
You gotta get him a pair of
I have like
legs.
I have like 20 charges. Sorry, Lucas. 20 charges of like $4. He's got skateboard, bike. I mean, you just walk.
Oh, that's a big no-no.
I just found out that our host does the same thing. Sorry, Jonathan.
Well, so I told him today about this.
Yeah, but the thing is that I do it
Well, Bernie
smart.
told me.
I do it smart because I don't drink and drive, and I don't want to walk.
Oh, that's the only excuse. That's the only.
I don't want to walk, and my bicycle's obviously somewhere else, not here, and it makes sense. And it's cheap. It's $5, and usually Uber drivers are just hanging around at the Ritz-Carlton.
Whoa! Because everyone's wintering.
No, that's usually.
Are you wintering at the Ritz?
No, it's usually Uber drivers that usually get off of work. They pick it up, they turn on the app, and they get it going. I'm sorry, Brad, you were going to say something?
No, I wasn't. I don't want to.
That's the only excuse to Uber on the key. Otherwise,
I was just wondering if that's Manny's son's excuse.
Well, I was.
I didn't want to go there.
Brad is
And
making signs.
the thing is that what I
I don't know how
was
old he
meaning
is.
to say was that my son is very excited about the key ride, and so am I.
How old's your son?
He's too old, old enough to know better.
But not old enough to get a car, though.
He's not. He's 15. He'll be 16 in a month.
So he's got his learner's permit, right?
He's got a learner's permit. Yeah.
All right. Step up. Another hot topic on the key is this pocket park.
It was approved, huh?
So, from my understanding, it has been approved, and it's at 401 Hampton Lane. The purchase
West
price was 2.9.
what?
No.
Or I'm sorry, is it
2.09?
2.09.
2.09? That's a big difference.
19.
Was there a niner in there?
There's a 9er. But it's actually apparently it's going to be a big thing. Everybody's happy about it.
What's the location on Hampton?
It's on
At
Hampton.
West Heather.
So
It's
So it's been sitting there for years as just a big open grassy spot
I know
on the
exactly
corner.
what you're talking about.
So everybody probably subconsciously knows about it. And so the
It's been
idea
empty
is,
forever.
anyways, it's just all the neighbors are really for it, and so we're excited about.
Brad Newsome here. He's part of the LAC. You know what you guys know? You guys on the thread know what the LAC is, right?
We do, but tell the people.
The land acquisition, the people.
The people.
The listeners?
Listening. The listeners.
Lesbians against sex. Oh wait, that's C. Never mind.
Yeah, that was.
That didn't work, Bob. That didn't work.
Bobby, ladies
I
and
can come
gentlemen.
out with something else if you really want me.
Yes.
So the land acquisition committee, Brad, what do you think? I mean,
we're super excited about it.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity for the Key. It's kind of unique because it's been essentially a park for years, just because it's been this big hunk of grass and the
like
neighborhood.
what, maybe 2 years, maybe.
No, I think it's even more than
I
that.
have a
Really?
question
No,
for you
it's
guys.
been more than that.
Yeah, I think it's been a
I
while.
have a
I'm not
question.
sure. But.
I was reading in the paper that it's still like to be determined what the purpose is.
Well,
Does
so
that mean, okay, can dogs
so the
go there? What
idea
is it?
is that we want the community to kind of decide. We prefer a neighborhood park is the way to say it
So
instead of
everybody
pocket
has
park.
access, or
And
you
so
need to-
everybody will have access, and we're going to have a meeting for the village to whoever wants to come give their input.
That's great.
When is
What's
that?
the other option?
When is that meeting?
I don't think it's been scheduled yet. We actually haven't purchased it yet. It's going to be next year. It'll be in January where the closing is, and then once they have the closing, then they will have a open meeting, and everybody can come and give their input about what they want.
Yeah,
So-
one of the things that they were questioning was the name, and that used to be the Henderson property. Hunter Henderson and Heather Henderson. They grew up here on the Key. I mean, you know the name, right? So they wanted to name it Henderson Park, but I thought Steve Simon has the right name for the
What
park.
is that?
Did you read about it?
No.
Corner Park.
Oh,
You know,
I'll be there.
Corner Park.
Uh-huh.
I like it.
I got a question about the zoning on that. Since it was a residential property, does that set a precedent now that any residential
So Bob's going to
property-
come in and just blow up the whole enterprise.
No, I'm just curious. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm kidding. No, I don't know. That's a good question.
Because now
I'm
they
not
can
sure.
change the zoning for another use besides residential property to like a pretty much, I don't know, government use or.
You said,
what do you zone
said
that
it's
into?
your option.
It's a good question.
Well, you said your option is to be a neighborhood park. What are the other options? If the land is already dedicated
Well,
to being
No, it is a
green
park,
space.
but the idea is there's all kinds of parks you could have. It could be heavily
Okay.
landscaped.
Active
it could
or
be,
passive
like
or athletic
fountains
events
and all that, or it
Yeah.
could be
So
just
that's the
it could
January
stay
meeting.
just grass.
But they
You know?
want to do
Yeah.
they want to do something. I got the feeling from what I read was that they want to do something that sort of promotes motion too.
Well, I think we want to see what
Yeah.
what people say, and especially I don't hear what the neighbors the
You know
the
who's
people that are
psyched
right
right
next
now?
door
You know who's
say.
the happiest people there are? The neighbors, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The neighbors there. It's going to be.
That's what you think.
No,
Except for the ones who have dogs.
Yeah.
Because that's right now the poop property, I'm sure, is where everyone takes their dogs.
Well, if Rafa were here, he'd want a picnic table.
I mean, as Brad can attest, it's nice to not have a construction site right by your place because construction on the Key for some reason can take 3 years,
Yes.
which is what he's dealing with.
3 years in counting.
Oh my god.
Over there
Which
in
is nice.
Holiday Colony.
Yeah.
In the is that in the garden district?
No,
I'm
no,
joking.
it's not. It's on the same. It's on the same side of Crandon.
Maybe what they should put in
Insiders.
that corner park, whatever they want to call it, is a croquet court, and members of the community can come together and play a up class game.
Sounds good.
I mean,
Come
that's
to
the
the
only way it's
meeting.
going to get used. Otherwise, it's going to be a teenage hookup spot. Let's be honest.
Ooh.
So let's
I mean, you guys really going to hang out in this park? I mean, come on.
so let's be
And-
realistic.
Okay.
What
go
are,
ahead.
what are the negative, effects to having this pocket park? And obviously the worst thing that could happen is, well, it doesn't really do anything. They just sell it. But what are the negative aspects of having this park for the community?
Are they doing an eminent domain or are they doing a...
No, they did a sale, by the way.
No, it's a at what should be the the normal price.
I mean, we could say
My
that
only
it was.
concern is the zoning issue, where now people can just go and buy a property and decide to change it at any moment. The perfect example, not, to hate or anything, the Jewish property over here across from St. Agnes. that was like now a residential house that all of a sudden turned into like a temple.
In the middle of
pay
like all the
they don't pay any taxes, don't do anything like that.
So did they get the zoning changed?
Yeah, they got it
They did.
changed.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously it'll change because the key has actually bought the property. They can do whatever they want on the zoning issue. But I mean, does that open a door for something else? Someone else can buy a property and be like, I want to make it a
Strip club
a bar.
in the
Whatever.
middle of the key.
Well, normally that whole area is just designated residential, and that's it. Now you have like one little property in the middle of.
Well, the purchase, the land acquisition had to be in the Garden District. That's where it had to be. At 202 Sunrise would have been the perfect place because all the arguments of that there were for 202 Sunrise, it's just for those people over there. It's just for that neighborhood, I mean, how many people are in proximity to that park, 202 Sunrise versus the corner park? That's fine. I'm happy that we got the park. But that argument doesn't stand anymore. So that's good news. There's been a lot of new precedents set, which is what all the positive feelings are.
Garden
I mean,
District
I like
quota achieved.
I like the park because that's one less mini mansion that's going to be sitting on the corner of the West Heather.
Yeah, so now it's our job
And
to
it's a
organize.
few less cars.
What happened to 202?
Yeah, 10 probably.
Excuse me?
What's the latest on 202? Is it just really closed? Okay.
Yeah.
That's dead in the water.
We will talk about that in January.
Yeah.
Another great thing that's going on in the talk of the town.
Just
Yeah, Brad, hang on. Brad's going into convulsions right now, ladies and gentlemen. So, Brad,
Brad
listen,
knows so
first
many
of all,
things
take
that
a
he
deep
won't
breath.
talk about.
Nobody
Brad knows
even listens to this show. Nobody
so
listens.
If he's going to
Don't
talk,
worry.
let him go.
But seeing as
I would say it is floating in the water.
Okay. That's nice to hear. We'll
So
take
it's not,
that.
So it's not dead in the water. It's floating.
Nothing's dead in the water.
Okay, that's
We'll
good to
take
hear.
that.
because a dead thing could float in the water.
So, Manny, the Garden District one day might get their own pocket park. That might be a good thing.
Well, we have we have a nice park over there at the end of the street, and everyone. I was at the Garden District Park called the Beach Club the other night. So we use that area, and so that's good.
So for anybody that's listening that hadn't been to the park that Manny's talking about, what's the name of that park?
Which one? Hill Park?
The one
Yeah,
next
the
to
Hill Park.
beach club?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
call it Hill Park.
Hill Park.
I call it the secret garden.
It's
too.
really easy
like
to
that.
miss if you don't know it's there, and it's an amazing park. Cate was over there. We ran into her. My kids were just running up and down the hills. We live in Florida. There are not any hills to be found, and they were
feels like-
rolling down the hills.
feels
and
like Golden Gate
giggling.
Park, San
It's
Francisco.
amazing. Yeah.
Rolling in
Yeah.
the deep.
And it's a great place to have.
It's right
a little-
by the entrance to the beach club.
You wouldn't even know
To the
that
right
it's a
side.
park because you can drive right by it unless you see people frolicking in it.
And there's a plaza right above it.
Sounds like
Yeah,
the
there's
Garden District has all the
bathrooms
parks it needs over there.
Well,
No way.
Hey, again.
No. That's the Hill Park.
No,
We need a place to
this one's close to Crandon, which
play
is nice.
soccer, throw the frisbee, have picnics,
Right.
have gatherings.
Somebody has to have a dissenting opinion on this show about pocket parks.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
it.
Let's have more big buildings.
I know. I definitely like the pocket parks. That's
Neighborhood parks.
And then now we know. I guess that's the going value for an empty lot there in that neighborhood. 2.09.
Oh, I know what I was going to mention.
Yo, dude.
Land acquisition proponent and activist, I dare say, Scott Hardy, was the one who helped negotiate. Chico, off of that. Get out of there. You don't have to hit him, Dan.
Thank you, Scott.
All right. So another talk of the town for those people and those
That's cool.
civilians and citizens that live on the Key that love to be a part of the council meetings and look forward to seeing more of them. They are now going to be streaming live on the internet, thanks to a few commissioners that moved forward with setting some money aside to add some new technology, some new digital cameras and microphones. And pretty much, this all came to a price of about $141,000.
All they needed was an iPhone.
All they needed
With
was an
that app.
iPhone. So all of this is, this new technology is going to be HD. It's going to be available on your tablets, on your phones. So it's a good thing. So now for all those people that love watching the council meetings, they will be available thanks to this new technology. But my question is, do you think $140,000 is a little bit too much or too excessive of taxpayers' money on this new technology for the few birds or a few people to listen to it? Any ideas? Any opinions? Anything?
remember when they were streamed live on the TV channel? What happened to that?
Well,
They
that's
still
the
are.
problem. It's just awful. The quality is
It's
embarrassing.
really bad.
And
But I mean, I remember if you wanted to follow that.
you know, Ed London had a good point. Ed London's like, what, am I going to pay 180 grand or 140 grand, whatever? Is it going to make me look better? He's like, am I going to grow hair? I thought that was pretty funny. So, you know, the truth is the quality of the shows right now is awful. If you even try to stream that through your device, it's going to be, you're not going to watch it. The quality that's...
Well, it's really hard to even stream it on your phone.
Right. So they want to,
And the other thing is that a lot of these meetings, they have people that bring PowerPoint presentations or spreadsheets, those kind of things. And if you don't have a good video signal, you can't see what they're trying to show you.
Sounds good. Well, it's we're reaching 7 o'clock. We still got trivia.
It is 11.
The trivia again is.
How about the? Sorry.
What was the boat that ran ashore on Fowey Rocks, 1878? What is the name?
Sunk or ran ashore?
Ran
The
ashore.
sunker.
But you said sunk before.
Well, it happened. It ran ashore, then it sunk.
Okay.
Wait, there is no shore at Fowey Rocks. Wait a second, this is a trick question.
No, it's not. It's actually
There's
simple.
showels.
Ran aground.
If you know your history. So if you have the answer,
The shore extended out that far.
I have a beer for you. The phone number is 305-299-9674.
All right, no.
Hey, how about
flicking
the,
caps in the studio?
Sorry about that. Trying to get out the window.
So moving forward, something has been happening for a while, but some of our local firefighters got honored at the county hall. That's Miami-Dade, and basically they were honored for creating a program called the Stroke Consortium. Consortium. There you go.
Sorry.
And
Is that how you say it? I've been saying.
yeah, I've been saying it wrong my whole life.
All these
I'm
years.
sorry.
I'll take the fat tire.
So the people that were honored were the Key Biscayne Fire Rescue Chief Eric Lang, Deputy Chief Marcos Osorio, and Medical Director Dr. Kathleen Schrank. They were honored with 5 other departments, and this program is basically developed to significantly decrease the time between recognition of a stroke by a paramedic to operating room time in a hospital. Now, the only way that this program works is by hospitals being a part of it. Only a few hospitals can do it, or they decided to do it. This started back in 2014.
We gotta do it. You gotta be a stroke center.
There you go.
So what's the new thing that they're?
Well, basically, they gotta have a neurosurgeon and a bunch of nurses on call at all times.
Yeah, but
No, but on the paramedic side,
we're
what's
at-
the difference?
yeah, Bob's asking like, what's the difference?
right now,
They have to be able, from what I read and from what I understand, is just that paramedics have to have an understanding of what the symptoms are beforehand.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, we have right now. There's called the Cincinnati Stroke Test. And that's what we use to determine if someone's having a stroke. And it's basically like, you ask the person, to repeat. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. The other thing is you have them hold your hands in front of them, close their eyes, and see if their arms drift. If they're drifting, then that's like a positive on the stroke scale.
How'd it get its name, the Cincinnati Stroke?
The third
The
part
stroke
is
is if you're like slurring the words. It's not, or they
No, but
can't
you
say
said
the
it's
words.
called the
Yeah.
Cincinnati
Stroke Test.
there's a speech,
Speech.
there's a facial droop, and then there's the
Smile.
muscular coordination. So like Bob was saying, you say for some reason you can't teach an old dog new tricks is the phrase that everybody uses. They ask a patient to say that because it's kind of a tongue twister for somebody who's having a stroke. Then you tell them to smile to see whether or not one side doesn't go up or whatever, to see if if the stroke, if they are having one, is on either side.
And so
of the
what do you
brain.
do at that point when you...
Then you alert. That's our question to Griff, is that what's different, because we alert the stroke center, which is
That
a
means
number
you-
of hospitals, that there's a stroke alert, and then they assemble the professionals to be ready for this.
You got to take them to a hospital.
Got to take them in.
Yeah, to take them to a hospital that's able to handle strokes. Not every hospital is able to. Every hospital is like a trauma center, things like that. So there's certain hospitals that they're like advanced stroke center, and that's where you would take those patients. So I'm curious, what is the new? I mean, obviously they came up with something because they got honored here in Miami-Dade, and everyone knows, that's like the basic scale for paramedics. So they must have came up with something, new.
Basically, my understanding is it's a program. Paramedics are able to read them a little bit faster. They have a team on call ready to handle these cases. And that's pretty much from what I got from it.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like a good thing,
So yeah,
No, for sure.
but it
Local-
sounds like the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
There must be something new, new in there. And
I didn't pay attention for like a minute because I was busy. But
You having a stroke?
Yeah, she's just macking down the cashews.
basically,
hey,
if you
they're
think
no pecans, but
it's basically if you think somebody's having a stroke, it's better to call 911 as quick as possible. If people are like
Basically,
slurring their
this is
words,
my
or their speech is
question.
not correct, or
Yeah,
anything like that.
as Bob can
Time
attest,
is-
there's certain things that you can communicate to the hospital, so they do have the professionals and the equipment ready to go once you arrive there.
once you got there.
Yeah.
And the stroke is one of those. The stroke alert is.
I don't know if you
But
guys
it's also
covered
important
this.
for like family
Well,
members to recognize it.
But I don't know if you guys covered this while I turned my head for 2 seconds, but is this a program that exists nationwide or in different states?
It's
or were the
just like
first ones?
standard
I
paramedic
doubt
stuff.
it.
It's usually
Yeah.
regional, and then the Cincinnati stroke is because someone came up with it, and it's like a nationwide test.
Yeah.
But it always starts, in a smaller area and then grows. But
In fact, anyone listening tonight is actually certified now in the Cincinnati Stroke Recognition
Call it.
there you
Doctrine. So,
But it's important. I mean, it's not even the paramedics. It's the most important is the family members to recognize it because the person's been sitting there all day. You have a 3.5 hour window whether they can give certain medication to reverse it. If it outlasts that, they can't give them that medication anymore, and the effects are like unreversible.
Tell us a little bit about it.
speaking
so we can learn.
speaking of stroke, how about we kick into the music? What have you been listening to, Griff?
Oh,
That kind of
the
stuff.
Strokes.
Totally
I'm
forgot
doing.
about that.
I know you did. I didn't want to mention that. It was
It
three
was supposed
segments
to be
ago.
the second thing, but
That was
whatever.
3 segments ago.
That's
That's
segment that
okay.
we do on the show. Since I'm hosting, I completely forgot about
No, but speaking of stroke, it reminded me too. I hadn't reminded about it. Yeah.
it. So yeah, what is everybody else listening to this week or the last week? Well, I'll put this one down. I've been listening to the song for a long time. It reminds me of my father. And it's a band called the Texas Tornadoes. And the song is Hey Baby, ¿Qué pasó?
This is your song.
And it's a San Antonio anthem.
Is it like a Tex-Mex
Yeah,
kind
It's a
of?
Tex-Mex, and it's got an accordion, the whole thing.
Can we listen to it?
No, unfortunately, we can't listen to it
we
now.
we don't do that.
So yeah, what has everybody else been listening to this week?
We don't do that.
But Manny does
Well,
illegally.
Griff, I picked a song this week that reminded me of you.
Yeah, this is going from the first floor to the 9th floor.
One of my all-time favorite musicians. Do you recognize this? Griff is doing a jazz hour, and
Jazz.
It's jazz.
this is my all-time favorite jazz musician. You know who this is? It's Yardbird. Birdman. This is a song by Charlie Parker. It's called The Gypsy. I thought it'd be appropriate for tonight. And I'm sure everyone wants it on their playlist, too. Gives me the goosebumps, for sure.
For those that listen that don't know who Charlie Parker is, he died at a very young age.
On the ship that ran aground out on Fowey. He had a stroke.
It was on a 6-night bender that Charlie Parker had.
It was on a Tuesday at the end of the week.
So Griff, that's for you, brother.
Thank you.
Gypsy.
Thank you very
First
much.
guy to
Charlie
use
Parker.
Flocka. While he was wintering, coming down from Boston.
So anybody else? Has anybody listened to that? You want to put it up on the show? What have they been listening to this week?
Mine is Cate Le Bon. She's this Welsh singer. The album's from 2013. I've been listening to it for a little while, but not this week. Today I listened to it a lot. The song is "Are You With Me Now?" ? What I have to say about it is that she sounds like. What the vibe is, what makes me feel is like a new wave French 1960s, but it's not. It's 2013, and it's awesome. Next.
Wait, you're not gonna play it?
No.
Bob, have you been listening to anything this week that you'd like to add to the show?
Nothing new.
Well, now I want to play my song.
Should.
Okay.
Nothing special.
I mean, I think just in general, I think the purpose of this section is to suggest things that we put on the radio.
Yeah.
And I think there needs to be a little more Rolling Stones on the playlist. Maybe some
fair
Gimme
enough.
Shelter would be nice.
You know who's happy about
Yes,
that?
Very.
and doing some
Yes.
dance moves in the studio.
Just to alert our listeners, Manny is
So you know.
doing some
How about
pretty
that?
theatrical
If you've ever-
moves.
Give me
Yeah.
shelter. I like that.
If you've ever seen Manny at a party,
I mean, I just think that would be a good addition to the playlist. So I'm throwing that in there. Give me
All
shelter.
right.
How
is
about
my
all
pick.
of Let It Bleed? Jimmy Shelter's on that, so just the whole Let It Bleed album.
I see Brad, picking out his phone. Brad, have you been listening to anything that you'd like to add?
Well, for the playlist, Ramble on Zeppelin.
All right.
That's something.
we
Zeppelin.
No, no, no.
yeah,
But listen.
we actually had a conversation about
I
Ramble
like
the
that.
other day.
Listen,
Who was it?
wait. But there's this other song. Brigitte has been. Brigitte's been singing this to the kids, and when it gets to this crazy part, they just giggle like you would not believe. Because it. Wait,
Which
hold
one?
on.
The one-
Listen, right here. But it gets better. And Bryce starts crying when that happens.
So what's the name?
It's very emotional.
That's "Loving You" by Minnie Riperton.
All right.
It's very climactic.
Have you
Next.
guys seen The Fifth Element?
I think a few of us have seen
Yes.
The Fifth Element.
Oh, the
that
opera.
crazy opera song?
The, like,
The
Did you guys
blue
see the
lady.
video?
The blue lady.
Well, do you see the video that there's a girl, there's like a Russian,
Who can
Russian
actually
America's
sing
Got
that?
Talent? Yeah, a little girl sings the song, and it's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It's ridiculous.
All right.
But a song that I have not stopped listening to is Gerry Rafferty, right down the line. I can't
That's
get
a
enough of
great
Add that
I
to the
can't get
song.
enough of that song.
Great song, Bob. So basically, we have Rod here as a special guest as well. Rod,
Yeah,
you
I got a
something?
song. I got a song.
Yeah, you got a song.
Oh, wait, you got a song.
Yeah,
I got a
Rod's
song.
got a song.
Well, hey, I just saw you finicking with your phone, and I figured you were going to say something else.
Rod's got a song. What's good?
This is a mix of "Why Can't We Live Together" featuring Petra Wilson. This guy Nickodemus.
A little closer. Sorry, Rod, I didn't catch that earlier. What was that you said? What is it called?
Oh, it's called "Why Can't We Live Together." It's kind of a remix on an old classic, and I think it goes pretty well with what's been going on recently. There's been a lot of just craziness going on in the world, and I feel like this song kind of really hits the feeling of it.
Nice mood music. Nice mood music. Hey, nice. That's nice music. Listen, I just got a text from Rafa's not here
Special
tonight.
message.
So Rafa, I was like, he said he was wondering whether we were going to burn the studio down, but I said, no, man, everything's good. Send us a voice message, and then he replied back, hang on, let me compose myself. So it only took him 6 minutes to compose himself, which is epic, and he's sending us a message. This is unfiltered. It hasn't been screened. Brad, you didn't hear this in the back room.
And from Bilbao.
From Bilbao.
Almost live.
Well, restart.
He's on the no-fly list now.
Start over. Start over.
Hey, so all's good. I'm out here in Bilbao. I just got home from a bar. That was a good time. And I guess I'm a little late, but I'll just do this real quick. Weekend talk. I went to the corner 3 times last week, which is a record. That was good. I also found a bar here called The Corner, but it was spelled with a K, and it wasn't nearly as good. We saw this band at this guy Benny's house. I went with Anna. That was pretty sweet. Cool people there. My song pick is called Sweet Things by Mocky. What else can I say? Peanut Gallery. Or keep don't lay on Griff too much. Griff, keep these monkeys in their cages. They'll walk all over you if you let them. I wish I could comment, but I don't know. Have a good time. I'll be back on Sunday. See ya.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And for Rafa for it to know, it's been complete mayhem.
You had a lot of Griff comments right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been mayhem. You know, it's hard to handle you guys. But in general, so those were pretty good picks. I think the biggest talk of the town for the last week to continue has been this.
Mic check.
I mentioned it last week, and it's the DUI manslaughter case that happened, and the gentleman that got charged with it. His name is Alejandro Alvarez, and he got charged with DUI manslaughter. He's serving 2 years, 2 years of house arrest, and 10 years of probation. Keep in mind he did kill someone. He hit a bunch of bicyclists at 6 o'clock in the morning. And a lot of people are very upset. They think he got away with it because of his family's money, or that the other family felt bad for him. I was doing some research myself, and I found that the minimum for DUI manslaughter is 4 years, and I think that was based off the Bertonati case, first time around, which is the same thing happened.
Who is McKelly?
McKelly or Bertonati?
McKelly.
So there you go. So 4 year minimum. But now, if you look back at other cases that are pretty similar, the average jail time is around 10 years to 11 years. So people are upset. What do you guys think about it? Do you guys think that you got lucky?
Maybe.
What do you guys think? Put your input. Anybody?
I always feel like the important part is trying to understand how to get these people to understand what they did was the worst thing that they could have possibly done. But it already it becomes something that doing in retrospect, especially when it's things that are done obviously by accident. I'm not justifying it, but it's unfortunate because I know there's been a lot of people that have been in that same situation and have gotten home and they've been okay. And that's, and the unfortunate part is a lot of times is you don't do the right thing and then you make a huge mistake and it makes everything 1,000 times worse, right? But we have to understand that the punishment needs to justify how the person can learn from this, and what, is it the rehabilitation? Why are we throwing somebody in prison? Are we going to ruin their lives to make it feel better for all of us? So it's really about understanding that these are all people making huge mistakes. So understanding where they're coming from, I know it might be difficult, but kind of helps understand how it should be solved. So it's tough to make everything kind of like one way and doing it like a specific way because every case is very different. So understanding the motives and the ideas behind it all, I think is really important, and not just setting like a mandatory.
I don't know if you guys talked about it, but the fact that the reason that it was maybe not as much as somebody might equate a life to is because the victims' families were the ones who.
Agreed.
Did you guys talk about that? I just stepped out.
No.
The victims' families were compassionate.
Yeah.
And that's where I think what you're speaking to, Rod, which is the belief that the human essence can make a mistake like that and rehabilitate and still be productive and contributing members to
instead of taking another, I don't want to say taking another life because that's not it at all.
Instead of taking another,
I mean, they did take another life, and he has to live with that, and that's a huge punishment.
That's it. That
and
is.
I'm on board with that 99%. It's just the fact that this guy hit somebody and then left them behind is the real rough part for me to accept. And if the family, wants life to go on and they'd see no real, it's not going to bring their loved one back that this guy gets the book thrown at him or anything like that. And that's not the point. Like, vengeance shouldn't be the point of punishment. But, man, you got to remember, this guy hit a guy and just left him to die on the road there, It's not just an unfortunate.
Day, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you just mentioned it 3 times in 30 seconds. This guy's thinking about that all the time. Point is that the families were the ones that ultimately were able to make the decision. And I think that,
That's almost good.
I don't know. I think understanding that ideas should be for empathy, but also understanding the facts. That's not just one terrible mistake, it's like 17.
Right.
And so understanding at what point they are in their lives and how much time they need to actually do rehabilitation, that's important too. So if it needs to be a longer time than, than some of the norms, or like if it needs to be more excessive based on what the facts are, then yeah, I'm all like that. That's important too. You can't just ignore that for.
I think it's obvious we have a problem, and I don't know. Obviously, one of the main things that hey guys, take an Uber. Don't drive home at 6 a.m. and hit a bicyclist. But we already have 3 cases. What can the community do? What can we do? Is there anything? We added green bike lanes. Do you think there will be a significant change in people's behavior? Because you have to realize that at least in 2 of the cases that I've seen on the news, is that people are driving and they're on their phones.
I was gonna say, I don't think the drink. I mean, I know drinking driving is wrong. I'm just saying there are other factors that come into play when you're driving in the dark on that curve.
You know what I'm going to start doing?
Or in the daytime. You sneeze.
You know what I'm going to start doing as a concerned citizen is carrying golf balls in my cart, because I saw this guy on Harbor Drive the other day. He was going 85 miles an hour.
Holy shit.
Up towards the West the mashed stop sign from maybe 500 yards back. That last stretch after the last turn or whatever from Westwood, 85 miles an hour. And I could see him like shifting gears, and the car getting loose, like just like that. And he was almost out of his seat. I look at the guy; he's like 16, 17,
Bad decision making.
That guy loses control right there, and the same thing could happen as any biker. So it's
the only way it's gonna stop is if bikers are just not allowed on the road. I'm sorry.
Man.
I'm sorry. Like, me myself, I don't care if people are. They could be dead sober. The way that people drive here in Miami, I wouldn't. I
wouldn't go at 5 a.m. on a bike.
Chico doesn't like that at all.
It's not just the drinking, but like people kill bikers when they're dead sober too, and they're putting themselves at risk on the street. They have the right to the road, but
what I think it comes down to, and again, is
I won't do it now.
No, of course, it's too dangerous. But I don't know if this theory holds true. I don't know, but it's something that Gannon mentioned. I think the drinking, where the drinking affects you, is your decision making if it does happen. If you hit someone, and if you panic more because you're drunk and you're like, I can't get arrested, oh my God, and you leave the scene, or if you're sober, you're also going to panic and leave the scene. I don't know. But I think that the drinking comes into play. In that moment, if you hit someone, what do you do afterwards?
By the way, it's funny because the last 3 cases, the last large 3 cases, everybody ran.
Everybody flies, exactly.
And everybody
those are the ones. I'm gonna say it happens every day. You just don't hear about it unless somebody's drinking or somebody, it takes off. But I've been, like where I work, I've had a few people already get hit on bikes. The drivers have been dead sober. They stayed on the scene and everything.
So my drinking theory doesn't hold true.
No, but definitely driving inebriated. Maybe they could have, swerved off and not hit the guy. You really don't know.
At what point do you
get hit every day?
At what point do you need to realize that fact and really point the finger at what are we doing to expand the lanes? I understand that. Look, I grew up here in Key West, and that drive-in is the most beautiful thing. That's what you look for every day, right? But for as much as I want to make sure that we don't cut down any trees, how much do we need to expand? Because there's so many people that are moving in. Traffic is nuts. And I'm not saying expanding lanes, but maybe making a bus lane. And you have a bus lane that goes super quick through there, and then you have the bike lanes on the outside, and people are taking public transportation because if you can get out quicker, you're going to take the bus, come out, whatever. And just
talk to Brad. He's going to be the mayor here one day.
Manny is.
Brad, you go. You were about to say something.
2016.
All right.
No, seriously, I'm not kidding.
I
Manny should run for 2016.
Address the point that you want to make and run.
I think that's a great idea. Having another lane that could be the bus lane and bike lane. And I mean that, and so when we have not Nasdaq, but
Lipton.
Miami Open.
Miami
It's called
Open,
Miami
Miami
Open.
Open.
When we have the
I thought
boat show.
I thought it's on
when-
Key Biscayne though.
When we have all these things, cars are not allowed there, and that's for emergency services, bikes, and buses.
You can see the wheel spinning right here with
It's
Bradley.
a great
Bradley
idea.
has a light named after him, Newsome Corner, over there on East Heather and Crandon. Have you seen it?
And
It's-
we were
there's
the
a light
first.
It's
Myself
Yeah.
and my kids were the first
To light it up.
to light it up
If you haven't been the corner of Heather
and walk through it. It was
and
awesome.
Crandon, you press a button, and all of a sudden it's like you're in a rave. You're like,
we spoke about it. We spoke about it.
Maybe
No, I support it.
Well, guys,
we're gonna get one over there on Sunrise. Let's get Rod's piece. Let's get Rod's.
Yeah, that's where I'm moving to. So I guess, it's obvious we have an issue on the key, and it's got to be fixed one way or another.
I think there should be more education on bikers alone. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, when you get on the road, you're putting
Yeah.
your life on the line.
You are.
I have the right to the road, but
But
guess what? I don't trust anybody. I mean, give me a break. People get hit every day.
I trust one mistake to just break that trust barrier, and then you're on the side of the road.
Yeah,
Think about motorcyclists and how much we talk about them. Oh, you know what you're getting yourself into. You're a cyclist.
And then today I was leaving actually the key, and there was a guy. They have the bike lane now fully open on the
And
side.
they're like three guys.
He's still in
running
the
side
lane
by
by
side.
him. No, he's by himself in the middle of the lane, not using the bike lane.
Guy.
They don't want to use it because, I might get a flat tire. This might happen or something.
Illegally, they're allowed
No,
to.
they're allowed to, but
But come on.
You have to be a smart person to realize you're putting your life on the line when you do that. Whether they're sober
you have to be a
or
smart
drunk.
person to realize that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Thank you, guys.
We got all these different types of people getting hit and killed.
You need to be driving
They're on all-
without your phone.
Unfortunately, this topic is the one that has logged more minutes on Rat Radio over the last 27 years than.
Look, dude, it's been 27 years and nobody, technically,
It's not
nobody's
going to
listening.
change.
So it's perfectly fine.
How do you get it out?
To conclude this
Make a
topic.
YouTube video.
Um,
out of that.
So there's a lot of other news going on the key. We're gonna have a nice little party on the 23rd at the
Yay.
studio. For those that listen and that know, we'll be around. And
Stop
also
by.
on the 15th of January, Calusa Club is going to be doing a scavenger hunt. You could follow Calusa Club on Facebook. You can find them. It's a non-profit organization for the community.
All right, but let's talk a little bit about the party next week.
I'm gonna have to join Facebook.
Yeah,
Get on there, Brad.
Brad, you'll find it. It's
you'll find it.
it's on the line.
You have to
You'll
It's
find
on
it.
the
You
internet.
have to upgrade from dial-up to actually get anything downloaded.
Next weekend, we're going to have the Rat Radio Christmas special. And so it's going to be a fun party. Everyone's invited. We're going to meet at the club, right?
Whoa,
At-
whoa. If you got to know the location to make
No, you're not
you know
invited.
the location, you can go.
I didn't say which club. So there's plenty of clubs. There's a Calusa
it might
club, a
be-
beach club, a yacht club,
it
a
might
Chico's
be,
paddle club. There's all kinds of clubs. So
The Cheetah Club.
you're going to listen. Okay, how about this? When someone
Nightclub?
invites
The
you,
Cedar Club?
how about this?
The Bikini Bottom,
When
what?
someone invites you, you say, yes, where should I be and what should I bring? Plan to be ready to go to the studio at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon at the spot, at the meet spot. By about 5 o'clock, it's going to be a nice sunset.
I'll tell you what you need to bring
Oh.
because Rafa and I have had this idea for a long time, and we're going to implement it next week. It's going to be a B&B party, a bourbon and Benedictine, and we're all going to drink bourbon, okay, and see what happens on air.
Yeah,
Yes.
you've been spending way too much time at the corner. I mean, we can't follow it.
I thought you were going to say like
Ah.
a Benadryl or something.
As
No, we're not robo tripping, okay? We're not robo tripping.
as one of the primary chauffeurs, I'd like to propose that the party happens on the 22nd instead of the 23rd. Just throwing it out there.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
We can do that.
No, take it into
No,
consideration.
I don't know how much of a presence
Shall we
I have on
vote?
Facebook.
Okay, it's voted.
but
Not on the
I-
23rd.
I can't make it on Christmas Eve.
You can't
And I'm the guy who turns the lights on. So,
Christmas Eve?
but you guys are welcome
The
to
23rd?
make your way to the location and do what you gotta do.
Wait,
But I'm out.
You're not going to be here on the 23rd?
Nope.
Neither am I.
Neither am I.
the fireman.
Well,
All right. Well, so I guess
Well then.
we'll have to
Where
figure
are
that
all the
one out.
firemen going?
I'll vote for 22nd for you.
Oh.
In other events,
Good. Thanks, guys.
Today's special guest,
We appreciate
Rod, has a little something to say.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey. Hi. Am I on the
Rod.
radio?
How's your sound?
I guess it's good. So on Saturday, I'm having a little photo exhibit, something that I've been working on for the last year and a half. Just it's basically trying to it's the idea that nature can be described in. All right, it's a little deep. Heads up, deep alert. But it's an idea that like nature can be described in its like little moments of beauty. In the little like reflections you see every day, or like the drive through Key Biscayne, you know, and so these little moments, if you're paying attention, can really bring you a lot of joy and happiness, and it can also give you a lot of awareness because it helps you realize your place in time, because a lot of these moments are, they're very fleeting, and so it's a way for me, in a very pretty way, through very minimal and natural and simplistic photographs to describe some ideas and thoughts that I've been having that are honestly really interesting when it's, Tuesday night and I'm listening to jazz night at the corner.
Yay.
But sometimes it's really hard to kind of express some really deep, thoughts and ideas when like people are on their phones and all this stuff. So it's like, all right, well, come by and I'll have food, I'll have drinks, and there'll be art. There'll be like pretty photographs that you can look and enjoy and see the little magic of the everyday, these little stuffs, these little moments of light and water interacting with each other. So the premise is called light, water, reflection. So just taking simple elements of just light, and it's this idea of like being really interested in science and understanding, that photons travel from like the sun.
That sounds deep.
Yeah, super deep. I gave you the alert,
Deep alert.
But these little
Anna's following.
Hey, Rod and I,
This is why-
Rod and I have had many nights at the corner to discuss this. So,
So, Rod, real quick, just to remind listeners, when is it and at what time?
So this is Saturday. Yeah, I should.
We have a very simple-minded audience.
Well, come look at pretty photos on Saturday. It opens at 4 p.m. And then from like 6 to 8, there's going to be food. There's going to be drinks, and there's going to be like a really good friend of mine. She wrote some poetry based on haikus for the show. So that'll like give you a little intro and just like a way for you to settle yourself.
When do you think that'll be? Like 7-ish?
The band will probably go on at 7:38, but the poetry will be there the whole night. It'll be the first thing you walk into.
And where?
This is at this place called the Miami Design Shop. It's a buddy studio, produces really cool 3D printed stuff, and he does these like laser engravings.
What's the address? Where's that?
It is 3406 Northwest 7th Avenue. If you search Miami Design Shop, or if you search me at Argaia Photo on anything, on Instagram or on Facebook or on Twitter, you can see the flyer for it. Come by. I'm a big proponent of supporting local art because I'm a local artist, but it's a great way to get some really cool art before the holidays and support somebody trying to just spread a good idea, spread positivity, and spread empathy and awareness.
That sounds great. Thank you very much, Rod.
Nice. Yes. I do regular art talk on the show, and I can vouch for Rod because I've been to one of his openings before, and I had a really good time, and it was a good night. So I can vouch, and I've seen some of his photographs for this exhibition. So I say go see it.
Yeah, one of the major talks that I had with Anna, it was at the corner. It was late night.
Of course.
With one of her friends who's also an art curator, and they asked me some questions that just slapped me in the face. I was like, oh, okay, give it a real meaning, give it a point instead of just showing these interesting photographs. If you can kind of tie it together with, impermanence in the idea of time and everything, but also in the way climate change is interacting with, this beautiful place that we live in. I'm leaving to Mexico City the 29th. To live and work and play and enjoy. But
And when are you coming back?
when anybody needs me, just you know where to find me.
All right, sounds good. So Radagaya will be exhibiting at the
Miami Design Shop on Saturday. Opens at 4, and there's going to be food and drinks from 6 to 8. It's 3406 Northwest 7th Avenue. There's plenty parking. We're going to have food, drinks, barbecue, and a special live act. There might be like a video that I've been shooting while hanging out with you guys, but that's a little that's not of you guys. It's a little more abstract. But there's some cool.
And
things
what day is that?
This is on Saturday.
Saturday. So and every Saturday, if you missed it, Saturday the 19th, every other day, Rod and Anna will be at the corner. There's a spot there. Every other day.
If you guys ever want to discuss any of these topics,
Well, guys, I wanted to, pretty much close up the show. Today was complete mayhem without Rafa sometimes.
thanks, Jonathan, for being the host.
So I'm your host. Who was that? Griff. Thank you very much for listening to Rat Radio No One's Listening Show.
That's it?
Now it is.
Fun.
All right.
How do you feel, host?